little one. Like a marriage between a half-breed bastard and the Lady Jessica Charteris. He grinned, showing strong white teeth against the darkness of his skin. What a lively mind you have. I must compliment you on your wit. Jessica stumbled again, and again was caught by the easy strength of the man who was holding her within the civilized confines of the waltz. Yet even on the dance floor, Wolfe's power was apparent. She had always thought of his strength as a refuge, even when she hadn't been able to see him for years on end. She had lived on her memories, on the knowledge that there was one place on earth of refuge for her. Believing that had kept her from panic when her guardian insisted on the marriage to Lord Gore. But now Wolfe's refuge no longer seemed available to Jessica, leaving her fighting for her life, alone. Dear God, what will I do? Wolfe must agree to the marriage. How can I convince him? Your fingers are cold, Jessie. Wolfe frowned. You're trembling. Are you ill? The concern in Wolfe's expression and voice gave Jessica hope once more. He did care for her. She could see it in his unusual eyes, neither black nor yet blue, the color of deep twilight or sapphires in candlelight. She smiled with relief, not knowing how her smile lit her delicate face. "'Tis but excitement at seeing you, Wolfe. When you didn't answer Lady Victoria's letter, I was afraid you had forgotten me." How could I forget the red-headed elf who plagued me by sewing my sleeves shut so neatly that the stitches didn't show? The elf who switched salt for sugar and laughed with such delight at the faces I made. The elf who hid in a haystack during a storm until I found her and promised to hold the thunder at bay. Which you did quite well. Unwittingly, Jessica moved closer to Wolfe as she had in the past, seeking the reassuring warmth of his body, the shelter of his strength. Quite well indeed. A matter of timing rather than control over the elements, Wolfe said dryly, easing Jessica away from his body. The storm was spent. I called you Talks Back to Thunder for weeks afterward. And I called you Hay Maiden. Jessica's silver laughter drew approving glances from nearby dancers. Your laugh would make a stone smile, Wolfe said. I have missed you, my Lord Wolfe. Surely you didn't have to absent yourself for so long. The Duchess's heart healed within the half-year. You could have returned. I'm not a lord. I'm the Viscount Savage, the bastard son of a Cheyenne woman and Lord Robert Stewart, Viscount of... Jessica's small hand covered Wolfe's mouth, cutting off his words. The gesture was as old as her understanding that his lack of legitimate birth laid him open to the same caustic thrusts from the English aristocracy that Jessica's commoner mother and titled Scots father did. I won't have you belittle my very best friend, Jessica said firmly. Elves have magical abilities. You are my Lord Wolfe. If you will save me from the ice storm outside, I will save you from the lecherous duchesses inside. Smiling, Wolfe looked over Jessica's carefully coiffed head to the black night beyond Lord Stewart's windows. Sleet gleamed dully with reflected light. You're right, he said. It's storming. It wasn't when I stepped off the ship. I always know when it's storming, Jessica said. I used to watch the storms rake across the firth and count the seconds until they reached the house. Wolfe sensed rather than felt her repressed shudder. His eyes narrowed as he looked down at the young woman who clung just a bit too tightly to him, yet she wasn't putting out any of the signals of a woman looking for a lover. Were you always afraid of storms? He asked. I don't remember. The lack of music in Jessica's voice startled Wolfe. He had forgotten that she spoke rarely.